So the DJI Mavic Air 2 has been out for a couple weeks now, and there's definitely a lot of common questions I've been getting on a lot of my videos. So what I want to do in this video is just go through a rapid question and answer and actually just list out some of the top 20 questions that have been asked on a lot of my videos. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Aldrin Estacio. I do a lot of drone tech, tips, tutorials, and product reviews right here on this channel. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing and also hitting that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now note before we get into all of the questions and answers, a lot of these are going to be addressed as of today, which is May 2020. Some of these, if you're watching it in the future, might have already been addressed or fixed since then. I'm also going to have all the questions and answers timestamped down below in the video description, so feel free to jump around if you have particular questions that you wanted answered. Also, if there's any links that pertain to any of these questions, I'll make sure that link is attached to that time code. So let's get right into it, and hopefully I can address some of these common questions that I've been getting in all my videos. Now this is one of those features that they actually had on previous models like the Mavic 2 series as well as the Phantom, but the ability to touch the screen on your device and move it around, you're able to now move and adjust the camera angle by just touching the screen on your device. You can actually turn the camera left to right, up and down by touch and holding on the screen, and then swiping left and swiping right. You can now adjust how that camera moves around. So one question that came through is, in my opinion, what would be the biggest advantages of upgrading from something like the Mavic Mini to the Mavic Air 2? And since they're asking me what my opinion would be for the biggest upgrades, for me, it would be the OcuSync technology. Reliability as far as transmission and distance away is gonna be the biggest key. Next, of course, is gonna be the camera spec bumps. You got 4K at 60 where the Mavic Mini only has 2.7. Also, you have slow motion on here. And one upgrade for me would be just the size of it and having a little bit more wind resistance. Now the Mavic Mini can definitely hold its own as far as how much wind it could take, but at the same time, you're always gonna get these wind pop-ups or these warnings in the app. Now the Mavic Air 2 isn't that much heavier. It's about, maybe twice as heavy as the Mini, but you never really get that warning in there because this thing has a little bit more weight in the air and can handle wind a lot better than the Mavic Mini. Do we have gesture mode on the Mavic Air 2 like we do on the Spark and the Air 1? Now as far as those other two drones like the Spark, where you can actually control the drone with your hand movements, the only gesture mode that the Air 2 has is the ability to trigger things like quick shots, but you do not have that gesture control like you do on the Spark, where you're able to put your hand up and raise it up and the drone will raise up and kind of control it like that with your hand or your gesture. So the Air 2 does not have that, but other drones like the Spark does. What SD card do you recommend getting for the Mavic Air 2? Now the current SD card I am using is the SanDisk Extreme Plus card. This is 128 gigs V30 micro SD card. And like I said earlier, I'm actually gonna be putting the links to this and some of the other products that I talk about next to the timestamp down below. So you're able to then look at some of these products if you'd like to, or you want a little bit more information about it. Now, a lot of people that have the DJI goggles, can I now use those goggles with the Mavic Air 2? Currently at the moment, it is not supported. This is something I did ask DJI about. They said at the moment it is not supported and they're not sure if they're gonna be supporting that in the future. So as of right now, it is not supported on the Mavic Air 2. Next question that comes up is, can you fly the Mavic Air 2 with your iPad? As of one of the recent updates from the Fly app, you can now use your iPad. Here I have an iPad Air 2. Pretty old one. Actually, that's kind of ironic. That's an Air 2 and Air 2. But either way, you can use your iPad now. It is fully supported by using your iPad. I'm not 100% sure as which Android or if the Android tablets at this moment are supported. So if you're interested in using your iPad to fly with the Air 2, I have a video about that using this mount, as a couple other mounts as well. Also this cord, you're gonna need a longer cord. I have a separate video on that. I'll make sure that video is above as well as down below next. That's timestamp down below in the video description. One of the biggest questions I've been getting recently is, why am I not able to adjust the speed of the gimbal? Now, gimbal control is a big deal. If you want to have that gimbal go nice and slow like that or all the way back down, you want to be able to adjust the sensitivity of this scroll wheel right here. And currently on the Mavic Air 2, you're not able to do that. But I did get some good information from DJI that this will be a firmware update in the future, that you're now gonna be able to adjust the sensitivity and adjust that control over the gimbal. So good news, it's gonna be coming. It's not out right now, but in future updates it will be. One question that always comes up, no matter what drone it is do I need to have a device that has cellular service in order for me to fly, whether it be your phone or your iPad? Now the short answer is no, you you do not have to have cellular service. But one of the benefits of having cellular service, if you're out there and using your phone, is that you will have updated maps when you're looking at the map view on the DJI Fly app. One of the cool features I liked about the Mavic Pro Original was that you were able to adjust that gimbal and shoot from a horizontal mode into a vertical mode, which means on the Mavic Pro, you were able to switch from going from 4x3 to 3x4 because the gimbal was able to rotate. Unfortunately, that feature with the newer gimbal is not able to do that, so you're not able to adjust and have that gimbal swivel around like you did with the Mavic Pro. So unfortunately, you do not have that vertical mode on the new Mavic Air 2 like you did with the Mavic Pro. One feature I really like about the Mavic Air 2 is that they allow you to now adjust your gimbal from the default, which is 0 degrees to 90 degrees. You're now able to adjust it to give you a little bit more height. So you're able to now move and adjust the gimbal upward 24 more degrees and get a little bit more footage of the upper angles in your video or your photos now. I love doing it when I shoot panoramics, so it's nice that they included this on the Mavic Air 2. You are able to pitch and adjust that gimbal up 24 more degrees. Can the Mavic Air follow me? Now, unfortunately, the Mavic Mini does not have that mode, so a lot of people wanted that mode and wanted to make sure that they had it on something like the Mavic Air 2. And yes, the Mavic Air 2 does have follow me mode, which is called Active Track, which is part of the Focus Track, which has a lot of other features in it. But yes, you are able to do a follow me mode, which is the use of Active Track on the Mavic Air 2. Now, with drones like the Mavic 2 and some of the Phantom lineups, you're able to adjust the battery level as far as the warnings that come up. Now, on the Mavic Air 2, you're not able to do that. It does have the default standard warnings built into it, but on the other ones like the Go 4 app, using the Mavic 2 series, you're able to adjust what percentage I want my first alert and then my second alert to go off. Here at this point, you're not able to do that. This is, you know, more than likely a software or an app update. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to add that in there. But as of right now, you're not able to adjust the battery warning levels on the Mavic Air 2. Now, DJI Quick Shots is definitely a very popular feature that they've incorporated in a lot of their drones recently. And yes, the Mavic Air 2 does have Quick Shots. And if you guys are curious about how Quick Shots work and what types of features and shots you're able to get with Quick Shots, I made a video about that. Make sure you guys check out that video above, as well as down below in the video description next to this timestamp. Does the Mavic Air 2 have the AirSense technology built into it? And the quick answer is yes. On the units that are sold here in the US, you do have the ADS-B AirSense technology built into the Mavic Air 2. So if you do have the AirSense toggle switched on your Mavic Air 2 here in the US, you are able to see and get warnings on your app that show you that there is an aircraft in your area. Does the remote control have customizable buttons? Now, unlike the Mavic 2 series remote controls and some of the older ones as well, you also had buttons here on the very back, which was a C1 and a C2, which basically gave you 2 extra customizable buttons. Here we now have a new function button, which is on the very front left of the remote control. That's why program it. You are able to program it, but right now they only have a few options in there, which are just kind of okay options. And you can also toggle using 1 press or 2 press, depending on what you want to do. As of right now, they only have 3 in here, so that should be an easy fix if they wanted to add a lot more features of what this function button can really do. One question that always comes up is it worth me buying the DJI Refresh when I buy my Mavic Air 2? Now, of course, this is just my opinion, but I definitely would recommend buying the Refresh program on the Mavic Air 2. And the main reason why I recommend it is because this isn't a do-it-yourself type of drone. This isn't something where if something were to crack and break, it'll be a quick fix. You go to your store, you order the part, and you swap it out. It's not one of those, race drone kind of builds. To be honest with you, every time I fly this, and if it were to take any tumble, I always assume the worst, and probably there's just something wrong with it. And having peace of mind with the Refresh program is definitely something you're gonna want to have. And the thing with that Refresh program is you pay $79 up front to have that extended warranty, which is good for a year. But if anything were to go wrong with it, all you do is send it back to DJI and pay a small fee in order for you to get a replacement drone. Now, unlike some of the higher end drones in the DJI lineup, the Mavic Air 2 does not have waypoints. Now, it definitely seems like it would be just a software update or firmware update on the drone in order for them to include it. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not, but at this point, there are no waypoints in video mode for you to do on the Air 2. The only waypoints that's available is if you want to do it in hyperlapse. Does the Mavic Air 2 have 360 obstacle avoidance? So no, the Mavic Air does not have full 360 obstacle avoidance. They only have sensors here in the very front, on the bottom as well as on the back. Unlike the Mavic 2 series or the Mavic 2 Pro and Enterprise as well as the Zoom, those have sensors here on top as well as on the side. So the Mavic Air does not have full 360 obstacle avoidance like some of the other drones do. Now, unlike the Mavic Mini that weighs 249 grams, this one weighs more than 250 gram limit. This one actually weighs 570 grams. So because of that, yes, you're supposed to register it with the FAA. All you have to do is go onto the FAA website, type in some basic information, pay a small fee, and then you're able to get a registration code through the FAA that you're going to want to put on your drone. Now note, I'm also here in the US where these regulations do apply. Depending on where you're watching this from, you might have some different regulations. So make sure you guys check your local listings to see exactly what are those regulations you're going to need if you did buy the Mavic Air 2. And one of the most common questions is, will this Mavic Air 2 work with the smart controller? And the answer is yes. They are going to be coming out with a firmware that will give you support to use your existing, or if you're buying a new smart controller with the Mavic Air 2. So if you're looking at purchasing one of these, which is the smart controller, I currently use this for my Mavic 2 Pro as well as my Zoom, but it will be available to be used on your Mavic Air 2 in a future update. What resolutions can you now shoot using the quick shot mode on the Air 2? Now, when the Air 2 first released, you were only able to use quick shots in 1080p, but a new update has recently been out. You are now able to shoot quick shots in 1080p, 2.7 as well as 4K. I recently put out a full video about quick shots, how to use it, what they do, how to access it through the app, as well as what resolutions you're able to select. Make sure you check out that video. I'll leave it above as well as down below next to the timestamp in the video description. And there it is, guys, just a bunch of questions and answers I wanted to address. I know a lot of you guys have been asking some of the similar questions in all my videos, so I just wanted to compile this one into one video. And like I said earlier, a lot of these might be addressed in future updates. As of right now, this is when I'm shooting it in May 2020, so this is where we currently are. As always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated, and also don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. This is Ultra Nastasio with FlightPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.